What up, boys, and welcome back to another video. So Classic TBC is coming up. It's really close, releasing already the 1st of June. And with that, I've been receiving a million questions about Classic TBC. And one of my favorite questions have been what I've been thinking about all the controversy around Classic TBC. I mean, we're talking about like $35 cloning, which was then like later on changed, and the 2-week pre-patch, and all of this new stuff that they're adding, so it's not like being kept original. So I'm not gonna make a super long video talking about all of those things because, frankly, this is a fire torch. I don't really care that much. With that being said, I fully understand and respect why people care. I understand that someone that's gonna like just say bye-bye to retail or have said bye-bye to retail a long time ago, and TBC and Classic is gonna be like their main thing, the only thing that they play. Naturally, they have really strong opinions about this, and it's important that they do so that the creators of WoW can get some feedback and kind of meet in the middle with the community, the hardcore community of Classic WoW. That's very important. But me, I'm the sort of guy that's going to play. I did play Classic for a couple of months. Then I went back to retail, had a ton of fun with it, but I felt like that was enough for me, and I moved on. And TBC, even though it's my favorite expansion ever, it's probably going to be the same. I'm going to start playing Classic TBC. I'm going to play it a shit ton and have a lot of fun with it. And it's probably going to last me longer than Classic WoW. But then I'm going to go back to retail. Like, I don't see myself just staying on the Classic TBC forever because I'm into gold farming. And with gold farming, you have way more variety playing something like retail where you can do stuff in every single expansion that's been thrown out there. So what we're going to talk about today is something completely different that not too many people talk about. And that is my biggest concern or my biggest warning to you guys. Because for some of you, it's going to come as an absolute, like a big shock. And that is when we're talking about competition in terms of gold farming. So before I go more into details, I do want to mention that you guys can still obtain the complete gold guide for Classic TBC, and a big thank you to everyone who has supported me on this already. It's almost 100 pages long and it contains a ton of Classic TBC farms. So if you want to have variety to farm and you want to know what's good to farm, you should definitely look into picking up the guide. And you'll get it for 50% off if you just use the code TBC once you at the checkout. So check it out in the description down below and pinned comments. So what I mean about competition is, if you guys played regular Classic WoW, you might have noticed the competition on the most popular farms. Not only mining and herbalism and skinning devil saurs, but also killing elementals. It was insane. It's not going to get better in TBC. So you should consider that if you're into the game for gold farming, which class you should pick. It's very, very important. Like, I remember when I was like 14 playing Classic WoW, it went to the elemental plateau that I'm currently at right now. And even at 4 a.m., it was just filled with people camping these mobs. There's a lot of them now, but once you arrive here in Classic TBC, the entire place is going to be empty. And you're going to have a ton of people just waiting for respawns. So there's a couple of things to take from that. And number one is having a variety of farms to do. You don't want to do something like Elemental Plateau just because it's the OG Primal farm, because everyone is aware of it. So you want to do alternative farming locations. And take number two is have a class that can tag mobs fast. I'm telling you, it's going to be stacked with people and bots. Did you guys see any bots in Classic WoW? I bet you did. There's going to be a ton of those in Classic TBC too, especially if, as many people believe they will, introduce the WoW token to the Classic TBC servers. That's going to bring out a lot of bots. And the bots, they make a lot of gold in Classic WoW and Classic TBC selling their gold. So it's going to be stacked. There's going to be a lot of those as well trying to tag them up. So if you have something like an SL Warlock that's really strong, and I used to love mine back in Classic TBC, unless you have that Death Coil off cooldown, it's going to be hard to tag the mobs. Having something like a Druid that can just instantly Moonfire a mob to tag it, it's golden. or a priest with Shadow Word Pain, maybe a mage with Fire Blast. But if you have some of those classes like a paladin, you're too far off to throw your judgment off, like it's going to be hard to tag mobs. And tagging mobs, if you have a tune that's specifically meant to be gold farming, it's going to be tough with something like an SLSL Warlock, even though they are absolutely great. So the next thing that I want to talk about is possibly looking at other means than grinding mobs, especially in the start, right? So to acquire primals, you could fish for motive mana rather than trying to kill the water mobs. Even though there's going to be people doing that too, you won't have the exact amount of people doing it. And even when you can't find the like the pools or schools that will give you the water drops, you can still fish in the open water and make some gold off the fish, right? Or you can make gold by, for instance, having a paladin, like a protection paladin running strats on the Scholomans. It's one of the most popular gold farming classes in TBC for a reason, because they're doing dungeons, so they're going to have absolutely zero competition when it comes to doing the farm. Like, there's no one there to compete against you because you're alone in an instance, right? The only competition you're going to have is selling the stuff that you receive on the auction house. But a lot of the gold you're getting is raw gold, so it's an absolutely great class to do for gold farming. But that's like my biggest concern of the game. A lot of people will get discouraged when they go out and they try to do the farms that they recall from back in the days, or some of the farms that they know about due to like retail WoW. There will be a shit ton of competition. Tagging will be hard. Yeah, we will get like different shards to play on. But then again, if you play on full pop realms, like most people will, and most realms, at least the popular ones, will be full pop, you're going to have a bad time at something like the Elemental Plateau. But this was like a mildly, not a rant video, but that's just like the thing that I find the most interesting. I think people will find that really frustrating once they get into gold farming in TBC. I'm fully aware of it because it was like that back in the days. I played on Silvermoon, one of the biggest, if not the biggest realm back then, and everything was constantly capped, but I still had a ton of fun. I did. Just know that it will be a problem, and try already now to like think of solutions or different farms that you can do if you find yourself in a position where there's 10 people camping one fire elemental, right? So that's it for today's video. So if you guys like these TBC classic videos, make sure to like the video. It's a good indication that you guys enjoy these videos, and I'm super pumped about TBC, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. But until then, have a good one. Bye-bye.